Hey everyone, welcome back to the table. Today we're going to talk about magic. Should it be mysterious or mechanically defined? If you can explain magic, is it still magic? I'm Scott.
I'm Craig, aka the Barbarian, but I never play a Barbarian.
So I think we start with definitions.
I like definition.
That way people know what we're talking about.
Wait. We need the Emperor's definition and then the Barbarian's definition.
You feel like we could do that this time?
Oh, I can do that.
So let's start with the mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
What's the definition? So magic should feel unknowable, dangerous, and awe-inspiring.
Okay. Magic, scary.
Okay. Mechanically defined. So
One's
what's the
gonna be
Emperor's
better.
definition?
Yes.
Magic should be clear, consistent, and predictable.
Magic do what says does. Fireball does fireball, cleans.
Just a reminder, if you haven't done it already, click the thumbs up, the like button,
Yes.
and subscribe if you haven't.
Hit the bell.
All right, so we're going to start with mechanically defined.
Yes.
Let's kind of reiterate our description here. So clear, consistent, and predictable.
Right.
So how I feel that means is you understand the rules. They're not being made up on the fly. They're consistent, meaning they're repeatable. It doesn't apply one way this time and a different way another time. And predictable as in it's mechanical. There's rules, there's laws, there's systems in place that you can...
Yeah. It's repeatable. It happens the same way every single time.
Yeah.
You cast a fireball, it's casting fireball.
Correct.
It's not going to give you water spout.
That's probably an extreme example, but a good example.
Okay, can you think of any systems in pop culture and media that you would say is a good, well-defined one?
Mistborn has a really good mechanic where there's allomancy and ferochemy, and they're very... there's hemalurgy too, but there's very hard rules on how some of that stuff works. You might bend them,
100%.
you might compound them, you might do things, but you know what's going to happen. I guess it's a quick explanation. So Mistborn, the mechanics is allomancy. You have a piece of metal, it does certain things. You swallow it, and they call it burning. You basically metabolize it, and it gives you power. So like if you had pewter, then you'd become stronger and faster. And there's
kind of like a steroid.
Yeah. And like you can do, like if you had tin, you could see better or hear better.
Yep, senses are enhanced.
Yeah. And there's some pretty well-defined rules, but you can combine these things and do other stuff, and you can use it with some of the other systems like ferochemy, where you can store stuff and you compound and do all...
You mean I could burn pewter, make myself stronger, store weight, and then pull that and hit like a Mack truck?
Possibly, yeah. It's a thing. So we might do something like that.
Vinny the Sweetheart.
And we'll do Cosmere RPG, because one of the things that's really neat about this, I tried to not go on a Brandon Sanderson kick, but here we are. They have Cosmere RPGs, so there's a couple of magic systems that he has that's kind of what he's known for. But inside of it, you have Stormlight Archive that has its own rules, and Cosmere RPG encompasses that. But then they're also working on Mistborn, which will come out any moment now. With the thing, they're that close. We should start getting PDFs and digital.
So excited.
And it has the mechanical portion for that, so you can play as an RPG. So we're gonna do sessions of that. I will be super geeked out and you'll realize how much of a nerd I am about this stuff. But I do like the more mechanical systems. I latch onto them easier, because it's like engineering. You get to engineer with magic. It's cool. It's fun.
It can be.
So that's one of my pros for mechanically defined. It's predictable. You can do combos. You can do strategies.
It gives new people easy understanding of it.
Yeah.
I feel like. Let's take Avatar: The Last Airbender. Aang's era. They knew nothing about metal bending. They're like, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it.
Oh, okay.
And then they discover it. For me, like, if everybody's like, oh, it can only be done this one way, and that's all anybody ever does, because it's hard fact.
Yeah.
We're going to use hard fact in quotations. To me, that's boring.
Okay. Would Avatar, The Last Airbender, or we could even say
Aang.
Legend of Korra.
Oh, okay.
Like,
we'll say Aang or Korra.
Aang or Korra. Would Avatar be a hard or soft magic system?
For me, I think Aang was more hard than Korra.
Okay.
So if you think about it, bending is pretty... I would say it's hard. There's rules. There's limits. It's predictable to a degree. Until you get into the weird quasi thingies. What are your thoughts, opinions?
I think Avatar leans towards a hard magic system.
I think the further you get into Korra, though, it gets more soft because it's weebly wobblies and the rules are kind of in flux and change.
Okay. What's in it? Do you have an example? I'll put you on the spot.
No,
too.
I just feel like it gets softer in Korra. Like the
Okay.
rules are less defined. Bending is just it's something that people can do and they're discovering it at its core.
Okay.
More as in like Aang, everybody seemed to be like, this is the only way you water bend. This is the only way you earth bend.
Yeah.
Whereas in Korra, it starts opening up and they're like, oh, these were the rules. Now it's just people. Well, now we're just really figuring out what you can do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
That's the part of media that I like when everybody's like, oh no, this is the only way you can do this one thing.
Gotcha.
It's almost like in Brandon Sanderson.
So okay.
We'll use him as an example. Era 2, spoilers for anybody that hasn't read Era 2 of Mistborn. They're like, the basin has its one way of using all the metals, right?
Yep.
And then they get the people from, wherever the heck it is, with the ships, right?
Mhm.
And then they're all like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to be able to do that. But the battalion,
yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, for me, a group, like, people that think this is the only way to do this one thing and then learn, wait, you can do that?
Yeah.
That doesn't make, you just broke me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, Full Metal Alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody's ever watched that? Very clearly defined rules, and then they kind of are like, wait, here's another rule system to go on top of that.
Yeah,
and just break the people's brains.
Right. I think, well, here's another crazy one for you is Dragon Ball. I'd say Dragon Ball is probably more of a soft magic system. I know it's not quite magic, but it's magic. And I'm thinking, I know you have upper limits and everything that's happening, but the rules constantly get bent in multiple ways all the time.
Oh yeah,
right.
Super Saiyan.
You know, like
power ups.
You know, Goku doing Kaioken.
Oh yeah,
and he never does it with Super Saiyan, and then all of a sudden he can be in Dragon Ball Super. Now he's doing Kaioken left and right.
Yeah.
But there's ramifications for it that there weren't really super great ramifications of it before. They're taking and doing God mode, and then they do Super Saiyan on top of it, and like there's all these like weird like combos that they're doing, and they're in kind of the way one of the indicators for me when it's hard versus soft magic system is when they manipulate the magic to fit the story. Like, is it truly something that was discovered, or is it something that was they kind of made up on the spot to serve the story? And we're talking about mechanically defined, so we're talking pop culture and all these other things. What about D&D? Is there, or any other tabletop RPG? Is there any non-mechanically defined magic?
I think if you go any of the kids on bike systems and stuff like that, it's very undefined.
So offshoots of traditional D&D.
Yeah, it's the system where it's a system where you assign like a D20 to a certain stat, a D10 to another, powered by the apocalypse kind of stuff. That's really less defined than D&D. I guess it all depends on who's running the game, because you can make it as mysterious and as not as you want.
I want to talk about a few points that I have. Okay. One of the main ideas or things I like about mechanically defined systems is that there's fairness and player trust. You're not going to pull the rug out from underneath them unexpectedly.
Yes,
the player knows what their abilities do, and it builds confidence in the system so they understand what's going to happen. It's an easy way to be able to kind of diffuse some arguments, because like, well, this is the way it works. Now you do put yourself in territory. A con would be it puts yourself in territory of player versus DM or rules lawyers and things like that, where you're like, okay, I get that it does that exactly, but chill.
Right.
You know,
it's more rules as written versus rules as intended.
Exactly. So,
which we may have a video on that soon.
We might, yeah. Mechanically defined is more leaning towards strategic depth.
Throw a meta magic on my spell to make it not hurt my allies means I can chuck fireballs all I want.
Exactly. Easier balance for DMs would be my other point. So predictable power levels, you know what the magic's going to do. You can work around it. You can understand the situation you're being put into.
Yes.
Which could
Very
lead to
easily.
easier encounter design and less risk of accidentally breaking game rules, because you can kind of predict what you're going to do, or at least have a path. I got a short list of cons.
Okay.
Magic can feel like just another tool, so you're just pulling out a hammer and you're going to do the hammer, right? You know that there's
when
a
every
disadvantage to
solution
that.
is a hammer, when every tool is a hammer, the only things I see are nails.
Yeah. So
I kind of pretty sure I butchered that.
It does encourage min-maxing over storytelling. The other one is you kind of lose the sense of wonder. We've talked about mechanically defined.
Yep.
Let's switch over to mysterious and talk
Okay.
about some of the points there.
I like it.
High level definition that I gave, which was it should feel unknowable, dangerous, and awe-inspiring. That's what we're labeling and categorizing mysterious magic.
So your average person wouldn't really know or understand magic. That kind of magic is more low fantasy then.
I don't know. I know we talked about some examples over there, but you got any fresh examples off your head of some lower magic systems?
One of the things I'm thinking of is Into the Badlands. I don't know if you saw that show.
It's on my watch list. I haven't done it yet.
There's this, what is it called? There's like this curse or this thing where people go like basically black-eyed, and then they just do all this crazy stuff. It's almost like they go into the zone. So that is mysterious. Nobody knows how it works or why it happens until you get, I think, closer to the end of it. But that one comes to mind because they don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, something like Harry Potter that has a very soft magic system.
Yep.
So you think about time turners, and those of you that read The Cursed Child, or you've done Cursed Child, or even time turners in the beginning versus the end, or any of those other things, they changed how they function throughout it. And it's related to some type of story serving moment or a retcon, like, oops, I made that too powerful. I need to dial it back. And you don't really have any other explanation other than saying, yeah, it does that now. You know, like...
It can be.
So
I also think Magic and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's a very soft system.
There's generally defined rules. Wizards do wizard things.
Yeah. It's, though I heard from somebody, a friend of mine that has read the books and is very like intent into it, magic inside the books is a little bit more mechanical. Probably 40K. Their magic is a little soft. I mean, I know there's rules for it for the game, but it's all in the lore, in the books and everything. It's a
demons in the warp.
Yeah.
All my bad thoughts coalesce.
Yeah, it's like there's some structure to it, but it's very like you start at the beginning of the Horus Heresy, and then you get to the end of it. It feels like there's probably some things that have been adjusted or tweaked, and is that because of the different authors that are writing it? Is it because just naturally it happens? The crazy manipulation,
right?
Who knows?
I don't know. It's kind of like in the Lord of the Rings movies. Nobody understands how the average person doesn't understand the magic.
Yeah.
Gandalf probably understands it because he's a flipping wizard, and if he doesn't, that's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that the movies, I haven't read the books fully because they put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Come at me in the comments. But for me, the movies are soft. I know no rules about it. I don't know how it works. Gandalf just does things, and so does what's-her-face with the water horses. Exactly.
Like elf bed. I mean, there's high-level concepts where she's giving some of her grace to be able to save Frodo. Yeah. And like there's some like you get some
but I don't know how
concepts.
They actually do the magic thing.
Yeah. Like I feel like if somebody else were to do that, they might not have to do the same things. Mm-hmm. Or they just all of a sudden become weak for doing something when they did the same thing at another point and they didn't become weak.
Right.
And it's like, well, why did that happen this time but not that time? And there's probably rules and reasons that make sense, but from the average viewer, like I can't really dig into it and be like, oh, well, what if they did this in this situation?
Right.
I can't figure that out. Wheel of Time can be very hard magic system. There's some moments when it's very soft magic. Like the first 3 books, I feel like they're very soft magic.
It seems soft because we're tagging along with the ride-along characters.
Yeah, that's a good point.
because we have to zoom out
Yeah,
and
that's
look
a
at
good
it.
point.
I think Wheel of Time is very hard. There's rules and
Yeah,
it's pretty
that's true.
predictable.
That's true. There's a lot of rules breaking, but you realize that some of it's just because of knowledge that's lost.
Yeah,
Because of the Age of Legends to the
modern day.
modern day to the characters that like kind of rediscover that, and then there's characters that break that and do things that weren't possible. Okay, so let's hit some of these points of why magic should be mysterious. Pros of magic being mysterious. I have wonder is greater than the rules.
100%.
Right? So if players fully understand a magic, it stops feeling magical. It's more scientific. Like that.
I can agree with that.
So
to an extent.
I think let's just talk general terms.
Mm-hmm.
Is magic feels like magic until it becomes science.
I can agree with that. At some point, does magic stop being magic and start becoming like a mathematical equation almost?
Yeah. Mystery creates a sense of discovery and fear.
Mm-hmm.
And magic becomes something to respect, not optimize, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you're thinking wonder is greater, it's something to be able to respect it. Like, ooh, you know, I was thinking about this, and I was actually thinking about Robot Gorilla Man at the time. Once you can spreadsheet magic, it stops being magic.
Yes, 100%.
Other point I have is encourage role play over optimization. Just a hit list with that one: players experiment instead of calculating outcomes. So they're trying cool things, and the DM allows it. You know, err on the side of awesome. It's one of the Sanderson rules. Leads to unexpected memorable moments and promotes creativity over min-maxing. So magic can have lost knowledge, ancient rituals, forbidden truths. I think that's part of the cool part of what I like about Wheel of Time. I know we said it's a hard system, but there's a lot of like depth of knowledge that's in there. Mm-hmm. So I think that can apply to both. If you're learning arcane knowledge, you know that, hey, it's not really defined because you don't know everything. But then when you know things more, it becomes more defined. I think that's kind of
that's how I think
the middle moment.
In Korra, like they're learning more and then they realize how little they actually know.
Right. Other point I have here, other pro of this is it keeps power in the story, not in the systems.
That's almost what I like about the first Mistborn, though. Like the Lord Ruler, he's so mysterious. You don't entirely understand his power. He's like this godlike figure. Mm-hmm. And then later on, after the fact, you're like, oh, that's how he was doing all this.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, he's not as cool then.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he's still cool, but
they have like a whole thing. So you have like I'm not gonna spoil anything too bad with Mistborn here with this, but you know, you have somebody that is constantly doing a thing nonstop over a normal lifespan, however long you might live, 50, 60, 70, 80 years plus, who knows. But you're doing this same thing every day for that period of time, you're going to be really good at it.
One would hope.
Right? Now you say, well, I live 1,000 years so far, and I'm doing it every day on full max. Some of the weaknesses of a mysterious system.
You have no idea what in the heck is going to happen from time to time. It's basically every spell is a wild magic spell.
Yeah.
Which could be fun.
I think should be fun. Players, I think one of those players may feel a lack of agency. We want to surprise the players, but also give them hints. Like I think a perfect story is that you've given just enough hint where they can't figure it out. They get to the end and they do it, and they're like, that's what all that meant. Yeah, and then they want to do the story again.
Yeah, you give them just enough rope to hang themselves with.
That if you can live that line that whole time, and then you go back and figure out the mystery.
Only point I had with you that I didn't agree with is flipping the script, because I always tell the players, okay, you want this to happen, cool. Just want you to know that if you can do this, the NPCs can also do this.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No, I agree with that.
No, they're every player always is like, wait, why? You think that you're the only one in this world that would have thought of that? There's other idiots out there.
Yeah, they might have even thought of it better.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, that's a good point to earlier. So, the DM checklist when to know each style. Okay. What do I mean? I want to define this a little bit better. So it's a DM checklist of when to use a mechanically defined magic system, or when to use a mysterious based magic system.
How many points do we got?
When to use mysterious magic, and I have 5 points. Number 1, you want a dark, unknown, or horror type tone.
I love it.
Number 2, magic is rare or feared. Number 2, story is greater than the mechanics.
Yes.
We talked about that. You want plot twist and discovery.
Yes.
And players enjoy improvisation.
Sounds like my Tuesday night.
So if you have those, that's a way to use magic.
Okay. Like
mysteriously.
Yes.
You ready for mechanically defined magic?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I stopped doing numbers halfway through that.
That's all right. I got 5 of these too.
Okay.
Number 1, you want tactical combat. Number 2, players enjoy optimization and builds. So they want to kind of, maybe they want to min-max, maybe they want to make it, maybe they want to combine some A with B and get a penguin or something. I don't know. Whatever. 3, you need consistent balance. So if your players are craving consistent balance, then, mechanically.
If we ever have a group like that, I need to not be with that group.
Okay. 2 more. Number 4, magic is common and understood. Number 5, you're running a long campaign with system depth. I have a secret third category.
Oh, God.
You ready for it?
I'm
And
not
this
ready.
has 4-ish points. I don't know. 4 or 5, whatever.
Okay. Secret menu checklist.
Secret menu checklist. This is the hybrid approach. Okay.
Ooh.
Which is kind of what we were talking about the whole time.
This is, yep,
So if you're-
my approach.
So if you're not sure, or you want to kind of like fool around a little bit and drift back and forth, this is the list. This is the part of the checklist that's for you. Player magic equals defined.
Mhm.
World magic equals mysterious. So it's
I like that.
right. So when the players are doing things, it's very mechanical. You know the rules. You know how things work. But we're talking about magic that exists in the world. Is very mysterious.
Yes.
I think that described what I thought about that was error 2.
Yes.
Because people aren't going to know what's going on. We, as the storytellers or the DMs or whatever, are going to
even,
know what's
even error
happening.
1 of Vellum.
Yeah, because there's crazy things happening with that, and the world is very mysterious because it's unknown. And then
I like
the
it.
players, they have defined things they can do until they get to the unknown, and then boop, boop, they're upside down. That might even be the noise for it. I don't know.
Boop, boop.
Yep.
I like it.
Or another thought of it is known spells equals consistency. Unknown or ancient magic is very unpredictable. So if you're
Yes.
pulling something from wherever, it kind of like 2 sides of the same coin. And I think this kind of like drifts between, that's the in-between rule for it is players get rules, the world keeps its secrets.
Yeah, 100%. It's almost like players think they know how, like I was talking about, my favorite systems are a group of people thinks they know exactly how it works, and then they go into another region and they're like, wait, why aren't they doing it right?
So we're gonna, before we get into our closing statements and thoughts, I just want to remind everybody, if you haven't done it, if you hung out this long and you haven't done it, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you need to hit the like button and the subscribe button.
Yes.
Do it. I'm not above
Begging.
begging.
Please, 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 sir. Can I have more followers?
Perfect.
A barbarian on his knees. How often does that happen?
We talked about our checklist. Checklist was mysterious magic, when to use it, mechanically defined magic, when to use it, and then when you could maybe take a hybrid approach.
Yeah.
So I think
I like
this
it.
work. Let's go back to our beginning questions.
Yes.
Should magic be something you understand or something you fear?
Both.
That was your answer from the beginning, and I think it still applies.
Yes.
Okay.
I had to think back.
If you can explain magic, is it still magic?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still magic. I can explain weather. It's still weather.
I think that's a really good point for the hybrid thing that you
Yeah.
explained. The player magic is consistent. The world magic is mysterious.
Right. Kind of like weather.
Yeah.
It's predictable, and sometimes it just does what it does.
That's right.
Ooh,
here's-
is weather really magic?
Is magic better as a system or a mystery?
Both. If you set it up as a system, you can put the mystery into it.
That's right. I really like the hybrid approach.
I love how most of our debates ended. Just mash them together.
Yeah. Just kiss. Just kiss. We have
I need a Gilliman and a Mortarion and just make them kids.
yeah. I mean, we got both models, so we'll bust them out next
Okay.
time. Yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, that's what ends up happening more times than not. We talk about this, we talk about that. We have a hybrid approach because it's usually a pretty good middle ground. I think that covers what we were talking about, what we wanted to go through for today with this topic.
Yeah, I think they hit all the nails on the head.
And if anybody has any other thoughts they want to put down below,
please do.
Yeah.
I like them. I read every comment.
I feel like I need to start making comments from like a shadow account or something.
I need some funny ones though. Tell me about a time when it went wrong.
We appreciate everybody being here, and we're gonna keep doing the videos every week, like I mentioned. And until next time, when we
see you at the table.
That's right.